Anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
Okay, what is up, people? Welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is doing well this Tuesday morning. Almost said Wednesday there. Hope everyone's doing well. As always, guys, if you are enjoying the content, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. Really does help out the channel. And of course, make sure you do hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future as well. I hope everyone's doing good. What is up, William? Okay, no problem, man. Take care. Have a good one. Hope to see you tomorrow. But yeah, all streams will be recorded, of course, and uploaded to the channel. So if you do miss streams, they're all on the YouTube channel, so you can go through them. But I haven't seen too much momentum since we last spoke yesterday. Dollar was pretty weak, and we saw that kind of continue out through the day. Yesterday, we saw more downside. But it is struggling coming into this area, which was the level I was touching upon yesterday as well. Kind of repeating the pattern we had last week, which was the retest of this high. So price came back into that area last week. Really nice bounce, strong move to the upside. And now we're kind of in that same vicinity again, retesting this high here after a really nice push to the upside. So I'm still bullish on dollar as the structure remains so. We've got a lovely low down there, high over there, higher low, higher high, higher low, and again, another higher high. So the way I'm looking at things for dollar is still I'm favoring upside. I'm looking for opportunities that favor that. I will go through some dollar crosses to show you what I'm looking at, but I do expect more upside. Unless dollar comes crashing down and we break support and we break this low here, that's when I'll stand corrected and probably come a bit more neutral on dollar. Not necessarily short bias, but if you do go and break through that low, that will invalidate that bullish structure, and that's not what I want to see as a bull. We still potentially could go higher, but yeah, I'd rather price respect structure. So keeping a close eye on dollar because I'm looking at opportunities that favor a lot more upside for it. So if I go onto some dollar crosses, Euro USD, this one's not looking the best at the moment. I'm looking at more downside, but it's kind of a bit of a range right now, which is what I was speaking on yesterday as well, that we had a bounce on this area, likely to come back to the high of the range and bounce there. So it hasn't really been clear with Euro in terms of the price action. The direction is clear to me because I'm looking for shorts back to this low, but in terms of setups, I'm not a big favorite of it. What's up, more? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. So yeah, with Euro USD, not a fan favorite of this one at the moment. I mean, things could change. Maybe we get a big break to the downside. I'll keep an eye open for some retest, or if we do pull up a little bit higher, I'm still looking at this low here as a possible area to look for some lower highs. So should we get to that area, I will keep an eye out for some opportunities to get into some shorts around 1.08, but essentially I'm just looking for another lower high for Euro, and I'm expecting a lot more downside. So eyes are glued to this low because that's what I do see price heading towards. I don't mind some shorts at the high here. Not really my type of trade, but I don't mind looking for some shorts there. What I do like though is pound USD. It looks a little bit cleaner to me. The swings look a little bit cleaner, and I'm really liking this pullback. It's quite corrective. We've seen some wicks there to the upside. Looks like price could be toppling out. So if things look good on a retest of this low here, I will actually look to get short on pound USD on the next significant hourly candle closure, which could be the next hourly candle. If I drop to the hourly chart, if I see a nice bearish engulfing, I will keep an eye out for some shorts. So depending how things look in the next hour or so, could be looking to take some entries there and hopefully get some shorts there for Euro. I like the pullback coming into, I think, 0.618 of the fib there. More or less around that area, and of course retesting price support, which was this swing low, now turn resistance, which is essentially what I've been looking at for past couple of weeks ever since we broke out this ascending channel. I'm looking for that reversal opportunity, because if I do go to the higher time frame, I do think pound USD has a really high chance of pushing back to this low here after rejecting the high over there. So yeah, still expecting more downside for pound. Fits the bias as well for dollar as well. We'll see what we can do at that low. Still waiting for a good entry signal though. What's up, Game City? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Hope you're well. Gold Forever, what is up? GJ previous week. Yeah, pound yen has soared a little bit. Hey, appreciate that, Game City. If you guys are joining the channel, like, subscribe, share, hit the bell, all the good stuff. It really does help out the channel. I do appreciate all you guys doing that. But yeah, GJ was pretty strong last week. I'm keeping a close eye on pound yen, but GJ was pretty strong. As with all the yen pairs, Swiss yen, dollar yen, euro yen, Aussie yen, CAD, New Zealand yen, and pound yen as well, all pushing higher. So with the yen pairs, it's very, very bullish. So I wouldn't be looking to sell these guys at all. There will be a time and place for that, 100%. But at the moment, I wouldn't look to do that. Sure, we've had a big move. You could be expecting some retracement now. So maybe we do see some downside for the yen pairs. But again, that's not a move which I'd like to call. I'd rather try and call the swing lows rather than try and call the swing highs in the bullish market. And of course, vice versa in a bearish market. I do think pullbacks look imminent with some of the yen pairs. CAD yen, I think we could drop a little bit here, but I do expect just another higher low to form, another push higher, because this wick here looks very, very likely to be taken out, and we're not too far away from it. So if it does take a breather, does take a dip to the downside, I think that's just an opportunity to get long and take this back to 117,400, which is where I've got the wick high at. View on silver, sure, we'll take a look. MD, what is up? Hope you're well. Gold, yes, we'll take a look as well. So true, Game City. 21 watching, only 6 likes. Target at least 50. Appreciate that, man. yeah, guys, if you are enjoying the stream, feel free to drop a like. It does help out the channel, of course. Do appreciate it. So yeah, with the yen pairs, generally just looking for pullbacks and more upside. I do like CAD yen because it hasn't taken the wick high. I do like dollar yen because it hasn't taken out the wick high, I believe. No, it hasn't. It hasn't taken out the wick high. And euro yen as well hasn't taken out the wick high too. So those are the three pairs I like because they still got a reason to head higher because there will be a lot of liquidity above these wick highs. And we've seen the rest of the yen pairs go and do it. I do think these three yen pairs will follow suit and catch up. So euro yen, I do expect another pop high. Maybe we do see some downside in the meantime. Maybe have another drop to the downside. I could easily see that happen. Maybe retest some structure here, but I do expect a higher low to form and a push to the upside. More, what's your take on euro yen? I think you said your take profit around 172. We're almost there. CAD yen likewise as well. I think we may go through some retracement, but the wick high is likely to go. Same with dollar yen as well. So either three of them pull back, retrace. I think that's really good opportunities to get long. What's up, Tony Gold? Hope you're well. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so I'll go through silver, gold, euro yen as well. Any other markets you guys want me to take a look at, drop it down in the chat and we'll discuss. So yeah, with silver, silver's been interesting, but price action has been a little bit all over the place. I said I was looking for a retest of this area here last week. Unfortunately, it kind of came back underneath it as resistance, so it's been awkward. I'm still looking for the market to push higher. I do think longer term, if I go to the daily chart, we've seen a lovely impulse, correction, impulse. I'm looking at this, another correction, and I'm expecting another impulse to the upside, back to the high, and potentially high as well. So the plan for me on pound USD, silver. The plan for me on silver is pretty straightforward in terms of the direction I want to trade in and where I'm anticipating price to head to next. All I'm waiting for is just a good opportunity to trade it. It's been a little bit messy. We're still pretty consistent with these lower highs. 1, 2, 3, potentially 4. I said it would be nice if we can get a retest of this area. So if basically all this price action was just a little bit higher and we were throwing wicks into that level, that would be looking really, really good for some entries. The fact that we're just below it and throwing wicks to the top, not that great. So I want to see a bit more development with silver and hopefully try and catch a higher low somewhere. As to where, I would anticipate back above that area, but things could change as more price action prints. So I'll stay on my toes with this one. But in terms of the opportunity, I think it's still very much looking very, very good. Just waiting for a good setup to actually take the trade. But in terms of the higher time frames, the overall direction of the market, it looks really, really clear on the higher time frame. So I'm liking what I'm seeing with silver, confident uptrend. I think gold will follow suit. I'll get into gold in a moment. But yeah, I'm not seeing a opportunity to play some trades just yet. I took a trade back over here with this move, and then since there's been quite corrective, borderline bearish to be honest. But I do think we're slowly but surely reversing bullish. So staying patient, but getting ready to strike for silver. Try and take it back to 32.5. Okay, so I'll go through gold. Then we take a look at euro yen. Still bullish on gold. I'm longer term bullish on gold. I'm still looking at buying opportunities for gold, but realistically, I'm not really a big fan of the price action on gold to look to buy or sell right now. I'm kind of looking at this ascending channel here with these higher highs and higher lows. Yesterday I said, this is naturally a nice place to buy, but I wouldn't hold on for too long because I wouldn't be surprised if we do see price kind of leak to the downside. We've had these really big impulse. This to me looks like the correction of that impulse, so I wouldn't be too surprised if we see some follow through to the downside back to some lows here. So I'm basically just monitoring gold, to be honest, at this point. I don't really have a setup in mind in terms of the longs. I'm not really interested in shorts at the moment, unless we break through this low. So I'm interested in the long ideas, long opportunities, but I don't really have a setup to trade just yet. So I'm kind of just keeping an eye on gold, watching candlesticks close, seeing how price prints, market structure, and waiting for my time to strike. At the moment, if you're on the lower time frames, some short-term buys make sense. Maybe back to the middle of the range there, middle of the ascending channel, maybe back to some resistance over here. Shorter term buy basically because you're taking advantage of the bounce of that low. We've been pretty consistent with the higher lows here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's that possibility we do bounce high and push up. But I'm not expecting a massive swing to the upside just to come from here. It could do, of course. As traders, we've got to work with probability and not certainty. So we could do something like this, but I wouldn't bank on it. And that's kind of the move I'm looking for. I'm looking for that bigger swing. I'm looking to position myself where I can try and catch some big moves in gold. Right now, the setups aren't there. So short-term bullish, yes. I think buys down there look okay. It's not a bad candle closure there on the hourly chart. Try and catch a move for maybe 2 or 3 hours to the upside and then call it a day. That's kind of how I'm looking at gold right now. Gold is just riding the tides. Yes, I think that's a good way to sum it up. Just up and down, not really showing any commitment anywhere. I know we've had a few big candles to the downside here and there, but nothing really committing, really breaking structure. This was and still is our swing low in the market, which gave us this high. Price has just been dancing within that range there. So gold pretty much is just a big consolidation at this point. This is pretty much just a big range, and we've been moving sideways for quite a while now. So I think if you're looking to trade gold, you're kind of trying to do it on a shorter term basis. Sure, you can look for that bigger swing, but the chances are price is just going to find some resistance somewhere and come right back down. So if you're looking to trade gold, I think shorter moves, shorter time frames make the most sense. Just kind of be in and out until we get a bit more clarity which way price wants to go, whether we actually are trying to break to the upside or down. And if you can break structure here, so let's say if we take out this high here, that will be really nice for gold, because that will tell me that, okay, all of this momentum has been completely erased, breaking structure to the upside, and then I'm expecting higher lows to continue and a push back to the high. So at that point, that'll be a really nice setup for the buys, but of course we're a long way away from doing that. So yeah, as I said, just keep monitoring gold, keep an eye on it. I'm not trying to force anything right now. Where was I? Morning, Sculpey. Hope you're doing well. Hey, what's up, Poppy? Welcome to the stream. Good time to visit Japan on vacation. Oh, okay, is it good weather in Japan right now? Yeah, but I agree more as well. I think every downside move, for now at least, for the JQI pairs is most likely just a higher low and a good opportunity to take them higher. I'll look at pound yen. Is that pound yen sell, someone said, or euro yen sell? I'll take a look at that. Good morning, Chris. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Good to see you as well. Mate, that drop was way too quick for me to even consider buying more. That drop was way too quick. I'm looking for a pullback on the yen pairs, but look at that. That happened all within like 30 minutes. There's no way I was going to buy that, especially with the wick just being random as well. I don't know if this wick's going to stop here or is it going to continue another 50 pips to the downside. But yeah, of course, in hindsight, lovely wick there, market continued. But if it was to come down and retest this area, that's a different ball game. That I can judge a little bit better, put a stop loss somewhere safer, and get involved. I do like Euro Yen because it hasn't taken out the wick high. Same with CAD Yen and same with Dollar Yen as well. So I'm keeping an eye on those three. But yeah, in terms of the pound yen sell, euro yen sell, I'm not really on board with the sell. As I said, I'm quite bullish on the yen pairs, and when I do see dips, meaningful dips anyway, I'm just expecting higher lows to form the market to continue. I always have that bias naturally that, okay, if we've got a comfortable trend in the market, a healthy trend in the market, I'm expecting that to continue until I see signs of it not. And the biggest sign of it not continuing is price breaking its higher lows. So in pound yen's case, it would be breaking through these lows here, these lows here. That would be a big red flag that, okay, the trend could still continue, fake outs happen, but this is a big sign that, okay, maybe we are going to actually reverse it. And then I'll be more conservative of taking buys and maybe even start to look for sells at that point in time. So that's the only point where I'll start to look sell pound yen or sell euro yen on some pullbacks. But I would never really try to catch the high here unless you're looking at just a quick kind of reactionary trade, because of course when we do take at these highs, we do revert back on ourselves. So there's a chance for a pullback here for pound yen, but you're trying to take advantage of the moment, and you're not trying to overstay your welcome, because the chances are the trend is going to fight higher. So you don't want to be in a situation where you're shorting and then you watch all your profit disappear just for the trend to continue. So again, never really a trade I'll take. I can understand why you look to short it. Market may be a bit overextended, likely to retrace. I can understand the logic behind it, but it's just never a trade that I would look to take, because for me, there's more money to be made going higher than trying to take this lower. So if you do get short, you're in there for not much, and you want to be pretty aggressive with your management, because the chances are trend is probably still going to push higher, and we'll probably eventually take these highs out. So I'll be careful with that. And the exact same situation for euro yen as well. It does look like price is struggling. We could see some downside retracement, but chances are price does push higher. So you don't want to be trying to push that for too long and see profits disappear and price pushes up. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Where was I? Yeah, in community rule of the world. Okay, don't know about the weather. The exchange rate. Oh, okay, because of the exchange rate. Didn't catch on. Yeah, I mean, market conditions play a big role. You can't trade the yen pairs how they're moving right now. You can't trade the yen pairs the same way as the dollar pairs right now. The dollar pairs is a different kettle of fish, different ball game. They're not moving like the yen pairs. So you have to be aware of the conditions of the market and how things are moving, because we're just not seeing the same moves, same type of moves on the yen pairs as we're seeing with the dollar pairs and with the cross pairs, CAD pairs, CHF pairs. They're not moving the same, so you have to be aware to that, and of course take advantage of that differently as well. With the yen pairs, it's a great opportunity to potentially add to winning positions, because there's a lot of potential for this to keep going. But as we've seen with the dollar pairs this year, we've seen a bit of moves, but we quickly reverse that price and come back the other way. So when you do get into a nice trade, the chances are price is going to snap back against you at some point in time. So it's probably best to not try and push that trade too far. I'm keeping a close eye on pound USD. Things look good there. On the hourly, I may take a short if I can get a nice bearish engulfing. At the moment, there's nothing there. We're kind of just sitting in this upwards trajectory, upwards channel there. So if I can get a nice solid close, I'll look for an entry. Something like this. Try and short it to the low there at least, and hopefully further. Best case scenario down there, but we shall see. So I'm keeping a close eye on pound USD, but nothing there yet. Okay, FX will be trading yen pairs 3 to 4 years now. Nice. Okay, I'll take a look at silver quickly as well. Okay, so only focus on euro yen and pound yen. That's interesting. I mean, they do move well, so not bad pairs to focus on. Yeah, I mean, those two pairs can give you a lot of pips. Wow, swing over 1,000 pips. That's rivaling more there. Yeah, I mean, you have to know what, of course, works for you, what makes sense as well. Some people hate the M pairs. Some people hate the M pairs and won't touch them. And of course, for FX Wolf's situation, he loves the M pairs and only focuses on two of them. So you really have to understand your metrics, your data, your past trades, and make decisions based off that. For me, that helps wonders. You can see what you're doing well, what you're not doing too well, and of course how you should manage trades as well. But yeah, in terms of euro yen, pound yen, those pairs do move a lot. I really like pound yen. I think pound yen was my most profitable pair last year. Yeah, I think it was my most profitable pair last year, that and pound USD. So pound yen I'm a big fan of. Didn't really trade euro yen too much last year, but pound yen was decent. And I like the M pairs in general. I like the M pairs in general as well. But again, if it works for you, it works for you. Okay, so I'll go over silver, and if I have missed out a pair, let me know. I feel like I have. But yeah, for silver, Game City, do you say in your buys? Yes, you're in buys. So yeah, with silver, I was actually looking to buy it come the end of last week. I was talking about potentially some buys on the retest of this high here. Didn't see a good entry signal set up, so I stayed at the market. And then I said I'll look at this area next to see what we can do. And it's kind of 50-50. We did break underneath it, so that kind of did invalidate the setup for me. But now price is kind of dancing sideways. It looks like price is trying to put in a higher low, similar to what gold is doing. It looks like price is trying to put another higher low, trying to push up. So I am looking for buys for silver. I do think eventually we'll get back to the swing high up here around 32.5. So I'm looking to trade in the same direction as you. And I do like this wick here as well. Really nice piercing wick to the downside. Definitely taking out some stop losses earlier this week. And potentially that could now propel us to the upside. The only thing is we do have a bit of resistance above us. So we need to see some momentum breaking through that. But I do think silver is likely to head higher. I really like the trend on this one in the higher time frames. Confident impulse to the upside there. Pretty nice correction. I do think we're going to find our feet and push on. So I'm looking to join you with the silver longs. I'm not really seeing a setup which I like at the moment just yet. But if we can start to break higher, possibly another retrace, another higher low, maybe joining up that trend line or somewhere else. Again, I'm staying on my toes. Don't really have a setup in mind. It really does depend how price action prints and how we set up, and then I can give a bit more detail in terms of the exact setup I'm looking to take. But I am looking for a high low somewhere to take this to the upside. So the bigger target for me, back to the high, but of course, this looks like a good target to have likewise there as well. Don't necessarily have to push it to the high there for you to get a decent trade. But yeah, the direction I'm definitely on board with. Okay, we'll take a look at pound USD. Currently in profit. Yeah, I'm looking to short pound USD as well. I haven't got a signal just yet. Second meal of the day, 5 eggs. Wow. I love avocado. Yeah, I've only just had my first Gulpy. how often do you do this training regime? Is it every day, or is it like 3 or 4 times a week or something like that? Kadsi Chef Tony Gold will take a look as well. Who else eating biscuits? I love a good biscuit, to be honest. Okay, entered after the 4 hour rejection. Yeah, the 4 hour rejection looks good to me. I like that as well. I'm a big fan of wicks. I'm a big fan of wicks, especially exaggerated wicks. For me, those are really... Excuse me, there's the hay fever coming up to play. Should have took a hay fever tablet, but we'll survive. Okay. Almost sneezed again. Okay, we're back. So yeah, I like the wicks. For me, wicks are a really good sign that the market is rejecting a specific area and likely to reverse the opposite direction. So for me, the bigger the wick, normally the better the rejection. Certainly if you can get 2 or 3 wicks as well, that's when it gets really, really good. But I like the wick there to downside. The only thing is with silver, I wish this was like a little bit higher up. If this was piercing into this level here rather than below it, I would have entered. But the fact that it's underneath my entry level does make things a little bit awkward. So hopefully price can push up, pull back, retest that area, then I can look for higher lows somewhere later on. But essentially I'm looking to take silver higher, but I do like the entry there. I do like the entry. So yeah, in terms of pound USD, I'm looking to short it as well. At the moment, no entry signal for me. I like the level here. We're coming back through the level, coming back for a retest now. So hopefully we can see some type of bearish engulfing, because that is going to be my entry trigger. At the moment, not really seeing that. We're moving quite nice and tidy in this channel here. So I want to see price kind of break out to the downside, and then I could be looking at some entries. But as long as we stay kind of in this trajectory here, I will stay out in the market. But if momentum shifts, see nice candle closure, something like this, I'm in. Stop loss above the high as well. Kadsi Chef, I'll take a look as well. What's up, Lepara? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. So you good setup on pound USD. Is it some shorts on pound you're looking at? Because I'm looking at something similar as well. Every day, fair play, Sculpey. Okay. Nah, I rate that to be fair. But second meal of the day, it's only 10:30, mate. Crazy stuff. How many meals in a day do you have? Yep, hay fever has been playing up with me as well. To be fair, it was decent coming onto the stream, and then when I start streaming, just my nostrils started activating for some reason. Russ, Anderson Banks saying dollar yen at 170 soon. What's your take? Interesting. Let me go through Kadsi Chef first, and I'll take a look at dollar yen. I appreciate that more. Yeah, it's a whole different board game when you're sneezing on a live stream. Not ideal at all. Okay, so Kadsi Chef. Okay. So yeah, Kadsi Chef. Not the biggest fan of this market, to be honest, but I think last week I was talking about a retest of this area up here. This is the level we kind of were consolidating between this support and resistance up here. We finally got a confident breakout, as we can see with these candles. Never had the retest, and judging how price is looking, I think we got a good chance of getting there. And if we can maintain this kind of corrective characteristic, I think there's a really good chance we do react and see some downside. Now, do I expect us to continue back to the low? I'm not too sure about that. Price is moving a little bit awkward right now. There's some major support here, which price keeps dancing on. So I think in terms of just looking for a reactionary trade, in terms of, okay, we've got to a level, we're likely to bounce from here. I think that makes a lot of sense. And we'll like to see a reaction at the 0.66 level. So I would be looking for price to come a little bit higher, see what we can do up there, try and catch a reaction to the downside. Not too sure we see a big swing back to the low there, but of course you don't need such a big swing to profit. Even back to here is looking pretty decent there as well. So I'll keep an eye on this area. I think it's a smart place for a short, and we can judge the price action when we get there. In terms of dollar yen, back to 170, possibly, because we're just about coming into 160 now. 170, where is 170? Oh my word, 170 is far. 170 is around there-ish. So let me see the quarterly time frame. Possibly. Again, there's nothing really there that's telling me price has got to get to 170. I mean, there's this wick low here, which is just above us around 176, 177. I mean, there's a high here, which probably will take out as well. So, yeah, 170 doesn't really speak to me in terms of price action. Again, I'm a very technical trader, so, yeah, there's no structure there. There's no really much meaning. 170 is a big psychological level. The next big one apart from next big one past 160. So potentially might be attracted to 170 because of that. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised for 177 to be honest, which would be past 170 anyway. I mean, there is definitely a bullish market with dollar yen. 170 is still very, very far away. Of course, banks have got a bit more information than I do, so yeah, it was still about another 1,000 pips there to the upside. So we possibly could get there. The trend is still very strong, very healthy. I do think we'll go through at least one major correction before we do get there. Something like we had back over here, or like even potentially this as well. I do think we'll have at least one major correction before we hit 170. But the trend is still strong. I'm not seeing a reason why we should get there in terms of the technicals, but the trend's still alive, and I will still bet on price going higher. Okay, where was I? NZDC Chef Rico will take a look, no problem. Two birds, one stone there, Poppy. CAD JPY will take a look as well. Yes, NZDC Chef will take a look. I'm not sure. I think that will distract you, Poppy. Or maybe try and put like 100 lots on to shelf or something. Yeah, shorts definitely. Yeah, I'm looking at the same thing as well. Yes, I do work out. Can't you tell? Pulling on the downtrend. Euro Aussie. Okay, we'll add that to the list as well. Allergy for not trading. Possibly, maybe the markets are punishing me somehow. Maybe if the markets were a bit more fruitful, then I'll be in some trades. Okay, so NZDC Chef, CAD Yen. I think there's another pair, but I've forgotten. I'll take a look again. So yeah, NZDC Chef. So I was touching upon this one yesterday. I said some shorts do look good because I'm basically looking to follow this move here. So looking for a lower high and a push to the downside. I do like this. There we go. I do like this area here. Just a brief area where price paused a little bit and we saw a big push to the downside. Also kind of lines up with that support area there with that wick. I do like this area here for some downside, especially with how price is moving right now. It's kind of consolidating and maybe a little spike higher, test that level. That could end up being a really nice short opportunity. Trying to catch the next lower high. One over there, second over there, potentially a third. Maybe it lines up with the 0.786. Okay, maybe not. but you got the 0.618 just below it. So yeah, with NZD-CHF, I would be looking at some downside there. Again, I was talking about this one on the higher time frames that we are sort of bullish, or at least creeping bullish. So I wouldn't try and short this one for too long because we got low there, higher low, higher low. I wouldn't be surprised if price is trying to print another higher low, which could take us back to the highs there. So 4H for me is quite bearish. So if you are going to take the shorts, I wouldn't try and overstay my welcome because the daily might still want to continue higher. So I think if you do get some shorts here, even back to a low like that could make a lot of sense. Maybe 1 to 2, 1 to 3 even. Back to there could be very, very nice, but higher time frames do scare me a little bit. So yeah, NZD-CHF looking for another lower high to develop. I like the area of confluence here. One more push up would be nice, and yeah, we'll see what type of price action we can get rejecting that level. But this move here to the downside was pretty impulsive, a lot of momentum there, so there's a good chance we do continue that move. Okay, so I'll go through CAD Yen next. Euro AUD, that was the pair. I'll take a look at that one. Captain Commandsy, no problem. No problem, Rico. Happy to help. It's about Queen Nico there. Okay, try to go back, trade New York only. Do less, make more. Miko's wham. Appreciate that, Sculpey. Yeah, I mean, of course, that's the aim of the game. Focus where you're treated best. Focus where you're treated best, and where you're not seeing success. See if you need to change something or drop it. Especially if you've already got something that's working already. If you're trying to experiment and do something else and it's not quite working for you, yeah, the best thing to do is drop it and focus on the thing that was working. Or if you want to try and save it, you need to make some big changes, but no need to try and stress too much about it if you already know, if you've already got something that's working. I need to keep an eye on pound USD because I'm looking to take a trade on that one. Still nothing there just yet. We're seeing a little bit of momentum, but nothing decisive, nothing to get me to take a trade. Euro's looking a little bit more bearish than pound. I think Euro's a little bit weaker. If I take a look at Euro pound quickly, it's been falling a little bit. How are some of the other dollars pairs looking? Aussie dollar seeing some downside. New Zealand dollar, a little bit of downside. USD CAD, a little bit of upside. Dollar CHF, kind of sideways with that one. So yeah, there's opportunity there for pound. Need to keep an eye on it. DXY, what we're looking at. Still testing support there, holding on to it. I like the wicks down the 4 hour as well. So if momentum picks up, I'd imagine I'll get a nice signal on pound, and that's when I'll get short. But yeah, pound DXY is set up quite nicely. I like the double bottom here. Tested it once yesterday, came back again. Nice little test this morning. Hopefully we can push on now, and then that will give me the trade on pound USD I'm after. So yeah, I'll keep an eye. We're about to close in 9 minutes. I probably won't get an entry signal in that time, so we're probably looking at the next candle after. But definitely need to keep an eye out on that. So yeah, with CAD JPY, Euro UD, I'll take a look at. So yeah, CAD JPY, I actually like this one quite a lot. We picked up some nice momentum as of recent times. We were very, very corrective this bullish leg here. But as soon as we got the breakout, price decided to be a little bit more smoother, cleaner, and shows some strength in that bullish move, which is nice because now if we do pull back, I will look to trade that. I'm looking at this high here. This is our previous swing high, which gave us a swing low. Price broke through, never had a retest. So if price does pull back onto that area, I do imagine us having a pretty good chance to catch a bounce. And then if the trend does continue, I think we'll probably just push and go and take out that wick high. So CAD Yen I like a lot. CAD Yen I like a lot because there's still upside potential to it. I think the wick high is likely to go. So if we do see a move down, we've got that extra reason for price to head higher because it probably wants to take out that wick there. So yeah, pound USD, hopefully we can see some downsides. Again, I could understand people looking to short it because we've had a big bullish swing. We just had a breakout of the resistance. We're likely to pull back, retrace. Maybe price is a little bit overextended, but I'm never really one to try and go against the overall momentum of the market, especially when we're bullish on the monthly chart, the weekly chart, the daily chart, 4-hour chart. All the big boys are pointing up. So as a swing trader, especially, I don't want to try and swing against that. At least for now, anyway. So yeah, CAD Yen, that's what I'm looking at. Euro AUD, I'll take a look at next. Euro Pound, I'll take a look at as well. High Elf, I just had a look at CAD CHF. If you scroll back like 3-4 minutes, you'll probably see the analysis to it. NASDAQ, Alex will take a look. Poppy, you have a weird thing with being lazy. I appreciate that, Omar. If you guys are enjoying the channel, by the way, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. It does really help out the channel, of course. But yeah, Poppy, you always criticize yourself for being lazy. I don't know if you're too harsh on yourself, or maybe you are lazy. I don't know. Okay, so with Euro Aussie, we've seen a lot of downside for this one as of late. We've had a pretty big push to the downside. I think there is still room to go though. I'm looking at this area here. Lovely level of resistance, support there as well. I do think we're probably going to be attracted towards that area for another retest. I did say some sales look good to try and short it back there basically. I was talking about this area, however, we have not seen a pullback enough to get there, unfortunately. It looks like price has come back to this area and reacted nicely. I was looking for a bigger pullback, but we may not see that. But yeah, I do think we're likely to head lower and go and test that big level around 1.598. So for Euro Aussie, in terms of opportunities, I would say if we can have another push to the upside, maybe back into that area, maybe double top it, that could end up being a nice entry up there. Or if we do want to go and test my level, fantastic, that would be even better. But yeah, with Euro Aussie, I am looking at that big level. I think this trend has still got some juice left in it, and we're likely to continue to spill over. So hopefully we can see an opportunity to enter. If you're not already in the trade, maybe you got involved in the first test there, then of course manage the trade how you would normally do so. But if you're looking for some entries, I would anticipate hopefully another move back into that area, stop loss above the high, and then look to have another stab at it. Or less, if we do break higher, then we do have this lovely 4-hour level up here, multiple tests, likely to hold as resistance again, and see some more downside. But yeah, Euro Aussie, I think we still got a bit more juice to the downside left. Okay, so Euro Pound we'll take a look at. NASDAQ we'll take a look as well. Pound CAD. CAD oversold CPI later. Yes, we do have CPI for CAD. CAD was CAD weak yesterday? I think it was a bit strong yesterday. I know it was a little bit weak this morning. Pound CAD a bit of a pop higher. Euro CAD maybe a little bit of pop higher there, but not much. NSD CAD, that's been falling against CAD. Aussie CAD, that's been falling a little bit. I wouldn't really say CAD oversold. I mean, compared to USD, CAD's been strong. Unless you mean overbought. Yeah, I'm not buying that. In terms of the CPI for CAD, again, I'm not really interested in a CAD pair at the moment, really. So I'm not really too bothered with that, or would I try and anticipate anything there? Again, my bias in general for, well, yeah, I don't really have a bias in general for CAD. I mean, usually CAD and bullish on Euro CAD I'm quite neutral, pound CAD I'm bullish on, New Zealand CAD I'm bearish, Aussie CAD I'm bearish. So I'm kind of all over the place with CAD pairs in general. So I don't really have a crystal clear CAD biased, to be honest, and I'm not really looking to trade a CAD pair at the moment either. View on Aussie dollar. Okay, I'll take a look as well. There we go, and have a look at Euro Pound and Nasdaq first before I forget. So yeah, Euro Pound. Okay, so yeah, Euro Pound. I said on my weekly analysis that I do expect to see a lot more downside. Reason being, if I expand a little bit, you can see we do have this kind of downward trajectory. It's a very, very sloppy chart here. You're not seeing the best price action in the world, but we do have that steady downtrend, and there is a massive level here, which I do think is likely to be retested, and a good place to look for some short ideas as well. So I did say on my weekly analysis, I do think there's a chance we see some upside. Number one, to go and test the level, but number two, to go and fill this gap here as well. It's a pretty big gap down Euro Pound. We don't normally see gaps this big on FX. It does happen from time to time, but quite rare to see a gap that big, and quite rare for it to go unfilled as well. So I do think we're likely to push higher and go fill that gap and go and test that level. So two birds with one stone sort of thing. And then in turn, if the trend does want to continue, if we are going to continue these lower highs here, 1, 2, 3, I do expect another one to form. And depending on how price looks when we get there, that could be a really nice place for some shorts. So Euro Pound, I'm expecting more downside. We're kind of really corrected now, so I'm kind of expecting us to push high and kind of continue this type of characteristic, and then we'll see what we do at 0.85. But I like that idea, that opportunity for some shorts. I'm not looking to trade it personally. I think there are other pairs looking more favorable out there. But if I was looking to trade Euro Pound, it would be looking at a retest of 0.85, which is that level. Okay, so I'll go Nasdaq next. We'll take a look at Aussie dollar as well. USD peso. Okay, Rico, we'll take a look. What's up, Lauda? Hope you're doing well. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, it's still just about morning. Monthly, weekly saying on CAD. Let me have a go take a look, but let me just go through NAS first and Aussie dollar and peso. So yeah, with NAS, NAS took a bit of a dive yesterday. NAS took a little bit of a dive yesterday, which I was not expecting. I'm still very, very, very bullish on it. Same with S&P. We can take a look at that later. But I would still expect more upside, but it's a little bit of an awkward area. We have come back to this area here. We've done a few wicks. I do think we can react, and that 4-hour candle's just closed, and it's closed pretty nicely as well. I like that wick to the downside, closed pretty bullish. Nice hammer candle close there. It does look like the next 4 hours could take us back to some resistance here at least. So yeah, I do think there is more upside to be had with US 100. Possibly this could send us back to the high there. Not too sure about that, but I would expect at least for us to push back into this area up here, and then we can go from there. Yesterday I was looking for the retest of this level and then a high low, but that didn't happen. Price broke lower, but it's testing a nice area there, and between that area and the next area of interest, kind of here, maybe you can look at that brief doji in there as well. There's a pretty big gap there to the downside. So I do think we'll see some type of reaction. I'm not too sure if it will take us back to the high, but definitely something you can look for. Nice 1-to-1, maybe a 1-to-2 if you're lucky. So yeah, NAS, I would be anticipating more upside. I like the close there on the hourly chart and the 4-hour. And possibly move back to 19,660. But from then on, it's up to the market if it wants to respect the level breakthrough. Okay, so Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar's been an interesting one because I'm still very, very bullish on USD. So I'm looking at opportunities that favor that in general, which means looking to short Aussie dollar. But look at this for some price action. This is absolutely horrendous stuff from Aussie dollar. What are we doing there? That is shocking. So I'm waiting for price to break out of this range here, and it's funny because we were just in a range not too long ago. So hopefully we can break this to the downside, which is what I'm anticipating us to do, and then hopefully we can look for some shorts and some pullbacks and trade it back to the low here. I'm looking at, on a longer term view, basically all of these lower highs continuing, and the way things are looking, it looks like this is another one of those lower highs. So I would anticipate another low, another push to the lows at least. So yeah, for me, I'm liking what I'm seeing with Aussie dollar. If we see a breakout, as long as we stay in that range, then I'm not looking to do anything. Sure, I understand looking to buy low, sell high. You know, price comes back here again, the bounce. You could look to anticipate another move up higher. So I fully get that. It's just that's not really my type of trade. So I'm not going to take that. And likewise to the upside as well. We push up, maybe reject it, try and catch a move down. I understand it. Just I'm not really one to trade ranges. So yeah, for me, Aussie dollar looks a bit like a myth. So I'm not going to look to investigate too much in terms of the price action in here. I'm not going to try and call moves inside that range. It's there's not really much edge at stake here for me, so there's no point in me doing that. Same thing with pairs like NZD/USD as well. We're just trapped inside that range, so I'm not going to try and force anything there too. How did pound USD close, by the way? We just passed 11. I completely forgot about pound. How are we looking? Okay, so it closed okay, but of course that's not enough for me in terms of entry signal. I take 95% of my trades on the hourly chart, so I do need to see a bit more convincing closures than that to get me into the trade. We're still kind of in this ascending channel here a little bit, so yeah, hopefully we can break to the downside and then I can get stop loss above the high there. But if things look good, maybe I can take a trade in the next candle closure. We have to wait and see, but yeah, it's looking okay. It's looking okay for a pound. It's starting to shape up. Just need to see some momentum now. Hopefully we can get that in the next hour, and then maybe my hay fever can go away. Okay, where was I? Okay, so we'll take a look at peso. We'll go through Euro USD as well. That one's been interesting. You'll make a good I don't know what's the personal trainer. I don't know what the job is, the job title of working at a gym. Is it a personal trainer? I don't know. But I'm liking the rules you're implementing there, Poppy. Yeah, my gym is always empty as well. That's why I like my gym. Barely anyone there. Don't have to wait for stuff. Okay, so I need to make sure I keep an eye on pound USD and I don't forget that. Okay, so in terms of peso, USD peso, and Euro USD, yeah, Aussie dollar is scary. I will not touch that. Yeah, USD CAD, we'll take a look as well. So yeah, with USD peso, let me type that in. So USD peso. Okay, so last time I had a look at it, we were trading over here because of course that's where my drawing is. So here I was favoring a bit more downside. Didn't quite see the retest of that. But then we did have a big reversal there. Yeah, but I'm not buying into that just yet, especially looking at the higher time frames as well. I mean, structure has changed a little bit, but I do think we're likely just to roll over. So I'll be saying if we have another spike high, because that's kind of how USD peso moves. It has a big kind of charge higher, and it kind of just falls over on itself. So I'll be looking at something like that happening again, another big move higher, some rejection, and then we kind of just sell off casually. So yeah, USD peso, I'll be expecting more downside. I'll keep an eye on 18.4 as an area to sell from. But to me, this is a really big move to the upside, which I do expect to see some downside come from shortly. It may be a pullback for price to go higher. It may be price looking to collapse on itself. I'm not too sure. But I would be looking at shorts, especially as we approach this high here as well. So yeah, with USD peso, I'll be expecting more downside. I would wait for a nice little up move, something like this first. And then hopefully if you can see some nice rejection, that could be a nice opportunity to take price down again. So yeah, I'm liking USD peso to the downside. In terms of Euro USD, this one has been a little bit flat as well. We respected support pretty well last week, and then we had a bounce early this week, and we've been stuck in this range for a little bit now. I'm still very bearish on Euro USD. If we expand to the higher time frame, I'm looking at this kind of descending channel here continuing. We've got a bunch of lower highs up there, lower lows. I'm looking for us to push back into the lower end of the channel, back into this low, and maybe back into this low at some point in time as well. So Euro USD to me is clear in terms of direction. Of course, I could be wrong, but there's a lot of confluences lining up to the downside. So that's the direction I'm going to trade in until proven otherwise. Same thing with the DXY as well. We've been moving nicely to the upside there too. So I'll be expecting this to continue higher and push us back to the higher end of the channel, back to resistance up here and eventually there as well. So Euro USD, my direction is clear. In terms of opportunity to trade it, that's where it comes a little bit difficult. Yeah, shorts up here look okay. Not really my type of trade. Back to resistance, short at the high, anticipating price to continue back to the low. Makes sense. I mean, this was my number one area from last week for a retest. Didn't quite see it happen. Maybe it could happen still. But what I did say in my weekly analysis was if we do see a break to the downside, I will keep an eye for a retest and a continuation. And now that we have built up some support here, I'm liking the opportunity a little bit more now. So I'm kind of hoping for us to continue at some point this week and catch some shorts. I'm more focused on pound USD at the moment because it looks a little bit better and it's likely to give me an opportunity very, very soon. So if we can break out, I'll just get short on pound and kind of ignore Euro USD a little bit because, if I'm shorting pound USD, I'm practically shorting Euro at the same time. No need for me to go and trade them both. But yeah, Euro USD is just a little bit choppy right now. So if you're looking to short the high, I don't mind that. Stop loss above the high makes sense. But for me, this is kind of like the A1 opportunity. Should we get a nice break to the downside. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for Euro USD, but I am definitely very bearish on the market. USD CAD I'll take a look at as well. Hey, morning Anis, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Welcome. Yes, I will take a look at silver as well. Order yen is making moves. Is it tanking again? Yeah, GJ falling a little bit. Yeah, we are seeing some downside again. Nothing crazy though. Way things are looking at, it looks like price just want to make another higher low at some point. So yeah, I feel like it's just a natural healthy retracement we're seeing with the yen pairs because they've been very, very bullish the past 3-4 days. So I think just naturally we're going to see some retracement as you would see with any FX pair. So yeah, if it's looking good, if it's meaningful enough, comes back to some areas I've been talking about, I'll try and get involved. CAD yen, dollar yen, euro yen, and 3 yen pairs, which I do like. So I'm keeping an eye on all 3 of them. Other yen pairs look okay, but the fact that CAD yen, euro yen, and dollar yen hasn't taken out that wick yet really does really does excite me. So I'm looking at those three. But yeah, hopefully we can take a bit of a breather. Hopefully we can see some downside, because it should give us some opportunities for us to take it back higher. In terms of dollar CAD, so yeah, dollar CAD is looking a tad bullish this morning here. Yeah, it actually broke through my area of interest. I said yesterday and on my weekly analysis that this area here looks good to me, but it's actually broken through that. I mean, I never was looking to trade USD CAD because it was just a big range. So although I didn't mind the level, the consolidation did put me off the market altogether. And for me, it's a bit of a rule not to kind of trade when the market conditions are too choppy, because I'll lose a lot of edge that way. I need to see momentum. That's when I perform better. More momentum, the better, really. So the more choppy it is, the worse off I am. So I try to just stay away completely from choppy markets. Sometimes I do dabble with things that look really good, and if there are some exceptions, but USD CAD is definitely no exception. Yes, there is a slight uptrend here at play, which is why I kind of like the trade, kind of like the opportunity, and it looks like we're in that kind of trend line area again. But again, realistically, we are still very, very choppy. All these moves are outrageous. So USD CAD, I think we can move higher. It's a nice hourly candle close. I think I'll probably wait for the full hour to close before taking a trade, if I was going to take a trade. But yeah, I prefer pound USD to it a lot more. Looks a lot cleaner to me, and I've got a safer place for my entry. So yeah, pound USD looks a lot better. Dollar CAD, again, we're still trying to take advantage of the same idea, really, dollar strength. And dollar CAD has come into a nice place where we can see a bounce back into that daily trend line where we've bounced so many times. So there is a very good chance we do bounce here as well. It's just, I think pound USD looks a lot cleaner, so that's where my attention will be at. But yeah, I don't mind USD CAD. Okay, I'll take a look at silver as well, order. Yeah, I would agree with more there as well. I think that's an opportunity for buyers to step in, add positions, or get involved. I can understand the sells with the M pairs because, again, they're up high, but I think you're just looking to take advantage of a shorter term move, and then you're out quickly. Yeah, a scalp, basically. Because yes, the market, will break highs and it will pull back, or break highs and pull back, but you always expect the bigger move to be to the upside if the trend is up as well. So I wouldn't get short personally, but if you are, I can understand it, but I wouldn't hold that for too long. I think we're likely to still see higher prices. Okay, so with silver, not sure that's the best idea, Sculpey. To be fair, it might help make you very nonchalant on the markets. Smoke before trading. Fair play, Poppy. That's different gravy for me, mate. To be fair, I never really smoked. To be fair, for me, I didn't catch on to that because it's just very weird. I don't know. I feel like it's either you're destined to like it or not. For me, it didn't compute. I feel like I was just trying to breathe gravel, really. So I never got into smoking. Anyway, in terms of silver, where is silver? So yeah, in terms of silver, I'm looking to long it. I actually still like silver a lot, definitely compared to gold at least. It looks a lot cleaner, but at the moment, it just kind of is trading underneath my level of interest, which is where I said I wanted to long from last week. Let me just clean this up. So yeah, where I was looking to long from last week was a retest of this level. However, price broke underneath the level. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to take any opportunities there, and at the moment, we're still trading underneath it. So I need price to break above it for me to be taking any trades, and then hopefully we can get some opportunities on the other side of the level. A nice retest of support, and then I can look to take it back to the highs here, and hopefully we can go even higher than that as well, because I do think there is a world where we do get back to 32.5, back to that major swing high. So I like the buys for silver. I think they look good. Just need to see a little bit more. Just need to see a setup form before I do take a trade, because right now we're below the level I wanted to buy from, which is not good. Doesn't mean we can't go higher, of course, but you know, if I'm going to take a trade, I need price to be holding my levels as support, not testing the resistance. So yeah, that's the main thing I'm looking for. But potentially we are placing in a higher low here. I like that wick to the downside, really aggressive. Potentially we could be looking to break high and catch a retest at some point. Okay, so pound USD, I'll take a look. Yeah, it looks a lot better. At least for my analysis and my strategy anyway. Oh wait, it helped you function. That is very weird. Woke up, didn't smoke, and haven't smoked since then. That is yeah, whoever said quitting wasn't easy is lying. Apparently you can just wake up and not smoke. Oh wow, only sleep 5 hours a night. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that though. I do like my sleep. I try to get at least 7. Oh wow. Smoke over 13 years. And then just one day you just stop smoking. That's crazy. Oh wow. Should be on meds, but I use that to my advantage. I mean, yeah, why not? Okay, twice the size muscle wise. I mean, I feel like we just need a little bit of I feel like we just need a little bit of activity training in our lives. I think in general, because I feel like humans in general, like we're active. Well, animals in general, you're supposed to be active. You're not supposed to sit on your ass all day and just look at screens and do whatever and not move. So you're meant to be active. You're meant to train. So that's why I think going to the gym and then training, cardio, whatever, just being active and doing stuff is really, really good for the mental health and keeping things working as they're supposed to work. So I feel like having that opportunity to let out that aggression, whether you're lifting weights or you're running somewhere, you're boxing or whatever, you know, is really good for just a healthy life in general, to be honest. So yeah, I reckon keep at it, Sculpey. No problem, Lord. Happy to help. Happy to help. How is pound USD looking? You keep one eye on that boy. Okay, it's pulling back a little bit. If it does stay in that range, then I won't take a trade. I think pound USD is the only one that's looking good to me. I was keeping an eye on pound CAD. I didn't really like it because it's still kind of underneath that low. So yeah, hopefully that can change. Oh wow. That is some heavy stuff, Scorpy. Because I've always had it in my head that smoking's bad, bad, bad. But in your case, low key good. Well, I think it's better to be hungry for it than not. So I think you just got to use that hunger in the right way. I think always just having like a physical outlet is just very, very important. I think, you know, we've come from a long line of very just physical ancestors, and then suddenly now you've just got people just in cubicles doing this on a laptop, which is basically what trading is as well. You know, we're just pressing buttons really and watching charts, which is not really, I don't think, healthy long term. If you do it in you know, short kind of blocks, which is what trading should be, you know, you shouldn't be looking at charts all day. I mean, I look at it a little bit more because I do streams and stuff and videos. But if I didn't stream or I didn't make videos, I'd probably only look at the charts maybe collectively 60, 90 minutes a day max, if that. So yeah, I try to make sure I keep active at the gym and have that physical outlet, because I think that keeps people sane. And it's a good way to let out some stress, aggression as well. Otherwise it might bottle up and you might express it in another way, which might not be so good. If you hit me in the face, you better run. I mean, I've never boxed in my life, so yeah. I mean, I've done it for fun, but I've never sparred with anyone. All I've done is hit a punching bag a few times. So yeah, I don't think I'll be hitting anyone in the face. Don't have to worry about that for me more. Hey, gold is looking a tad bullish. What's going on with gold? Gold is pushing hard. Is silver following suit? A little bit, not as much though. So yeah, I do think we can bounce for gold, but I'm not buying that we're about to swing. We could do, but I don't know. Maybe we could drop. I mean, if we do drop and we take out this low and this low, then yeah, the next pullback after that, I'm definitely on board to short. But I'm not on board with that just yet. Yeah, I rate that Scolby. Yeah, I mean that's a different kettle of fish as well. I mean, I don't have children yet, so I don't have that kind of that fire to look after. I mean, I do have people, but not a child of my own. So hopefully not for a few more years as well. But when you got a child of your own to look after, you know that yeah, that's a whole nother level of responsibility. Are you still looking at US 30, Sculpey? How was US30? I haven't actually looked at it. Oh, okay. It had a bit of a push to the upside yesterday. Yesterday was speaking, or I think we're around here. Momentum continues. How's S&P doing? A little bit sideways, but I think it did come back and retest that area there as well. So yeah, yesterday I was talking about a retest of this level here, 54.40, and it looks like price is just about. And I like that candle as well. It's the same candle close on the NAS as well. Big wick to the downside, nice close there. S&P, nice little wick to the downside. It would be nice if it wicked through the low rather than slightly above it, but generally speaking, it's a nice close, nice shift of momentum. I do think we can see some upside now for US 100, at least back to resistance up here, and then if you can break through, maybe back to the highs as well. But yeah, for me, everything is still looking pretty bullish. Yeah, I'll still be expecting higher prices there for S&P, and potentially higher highs as well. US 30 I like as well. I think it's looking a lot better than it was the previous 2 weeks in this kind of mess here. Starting to commit in a direction. I like the consolidation we had here. A retest of that area could be very fruitful for some buy opportunities. Drop into the hourly chart. If you could see this momentum continue, maybe spike into here, that could be a really nice buy. Trying to catch the next higher low. So yeah, I'm liking the indices. US 30 I think is looking really good. I think this one is looking like it's going to catch up with S&P, with NAS. We've got the swing high over there, and now we're seeing some consistent momentum to the upside. Impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse, with some decent candles as well. So yeah, some pullbacks on US 30 look good. US 500 has already done it, so expecting upside there. NAS is bouncing at support here. That one can push up, but I prefer US 30 and S&P. But yeah, in terms of the general direction, it's still very bullish for me. Kids is the biggest motivator ever. Yeah, I can imagine. Morning, Ben. Welcome to the stream. Hope you are well. Yeah, I agree. I'm a big believer in that as well, Sculpey. Everything happens for a reason. Okay, waiting for New York. Yes. The score for tonight. Good question, Ben. Most important question on the stream. I'm joking. I reckon 2-0 England. 2-0. I'm still very hopeful of England. Yes, BTC did tank yesterday. Big move down. Are we near the lows yet? Let's see. Not far off. Not far off at all. I mean, let me draw the line here. Yeah, I mean, pretty much there, to be honest. I said 58 to 56 is the range I'm looking at. Basically, the body to the wick here. That's pretty much the range I'm looking for Bitcoin to come into. So, yeah, Bitcoin, I think, will come into an area where we could bounce. Again, I'm still very much long-term bullish on Bitcoin. I'm looking for this impulsive move here to continue. To me, this looks like a correction of that move and will likely continue. We had a really poor attempt to break in the high over here, and we've kind of miserably fallen over since then. So what I want to see now is some wicks, some aggressive rejections around here, and that could be our next springboard to take Bitcoin higher. So there could be some really nice buys coming up as we approach the lower end of this descending channel and this major support level there. I can see well where we do spike through this, maybe to tag this area here, 53k. This brief range before we had that breakout. Maybe we see a bigger wick than expected, tag that area there, and then push up. But generally speaking, here is where I'd anticipate another move higher. So I'll keep a close eye on Bitcoin because these are some interesting areas for me at least. I would want to see a bit more downside because we haven't quite got there yet. And this is a big kind of injection of bearish momentum. So I do think we're probably going to spill over anyway. But yeah, Bitcoin, very interesting stuff there. Very interesting stuff. I wasn't expecting us to pick up momentum so quickly, especially because we're so corrective. I thought we might push up first before we drop. But yeah, pretty big move down there for Bitcoin. As we approach 58k, for me, these are areas where buys make a lot more sense. How's Ethereum looking? Ethereum didn't do too much. A bit of a downside move, but Bitcoin stole the show a little bit with that move there. Ethereum, not sure about this one. I mean, it's an area where we could bounce. But yeah, Bitcoin makes a bit more sense to me. Unfortunate, Sculpey. It happens, my man. It happens. No way the cat's making you want kids. I think that's how it starts, to be fair. You get a cat or a dog, taste how it is to look after another being, and then if you pass the test, it goes well. Then that's normally the gateway to then actually having kids of your own. Yeah, we do, Ben. We do need a 3-0 to boost morale. I'm not sure if we got that in us, to be fair. Maybe we do. We could switch on. Yeah, PE does look bad. Just slowly for the weeks. Yeah, which is not great for Bitcoin, really. Which is not great, the slow kind of bleed. I'd rather price kind of really tanked heavy, because that would be a nice kind of shakeout of people, anyone buying Bitcoin. Definitely weaker hands will close some trades or close some positions then. And that could be a nice time to start putting on some positions in terms of buys, which we've kind of seen that happen a little bit now. But yeah, altogether, I was kind of still trapped in that channel. Crypto Guru saying we bottom in the end of June. Maybe we do. I don't know. I haven't actually checked that, if that's historically accurate on Bitcoin. Yeah. Yeah, that is unfortunate more. Yeah, but more, it could just be one, unlucky position. Because at the same time, that potentially that 3K another day potentially could sort of Bitcoin rocket, and maybe that could be 30K potentially. Of course, yeah, it wasn't, but it could just be an unlucky position, which happens. But yeah, Bitcoin, it does have the moves in it where we can tank or fly very, very quickly, which doesn't really happen so much with FX. Of course, you can have big moves, but everything is very, very tainted compared to Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin, you can see a 10% move in a day. The most you're going to get in FX is like 1 to 2% in a day. That's max. And that's a big day if it's 1 to 2%. That's true as well, Ben. That's true. The only thing you can go off is previous patterns, previous histories, and of course Bitcoin hasn't been around as long as other markets. Say for example euro dollar. You've got data. You can get data very, very far, but at least for this chart anyway, I've got data all the way back to 1970. You can probably get data a lot further than that as well. But there's a lot more information there. There's a lot more information there to go through. With Bitcoin, there isn't as much, and there's not as much money or as much stake in Bitcoin either. So you're going to see a lot more erratic behaviors, a lot more behaviors which will be new. Not necessarily in general, but new to Bitcoin at least. So it's going to be a bit more harder to trade with purely technicals. I think fundamentals of Bitcoin plays a huge impact, as they do with all markets. But I feel like to a point where it's probably best to stay up to date and in tune with the fundamentals as well when you are looking to trade Bitcoin too. But yeah, I don't really have an urge to trade any cryptos at the moment, to be honest. I'm leaning towards indices, but yeah, not cryptos for now. Maybe one day I pick it up. Yes, we'll take a look at gold as well. Okay. Made a lot of money short in Bitcoin. When was that, Poppy? Yeah, that's true, Ben. That is true. First time Bitcoin broke all-time highs before halving. So yeah, things will change. Things will change. Of course, new cycles will occur. New price action, new patterns will emerge as time continues, which is not ideal if you're purely a technical trader, because you want to have that consistency in the market. Of course, you won't get it 100%, but you want a little bit more data in the past, I don't know, 15, 20 years, how long Bitcoin's been around. So you want a bit more information than that. So yeah, I would never really recommend to trade Bitcoin purely on technicals. You can do, I'm pretty sure there are people doing it successfully, but I think they're just easier and more safer markets to go to. The indices are a lot better. FX Mage is a lot better as well. Even like gold and silver, it will be a lot better too. In terms of gold, which I just mentioned, let me see how pound USD is shaping up, because I think dollar is seeing some strength right now. Yes, it is. It is pushing up a little bit there. Let's see how pound is looking. Okay, we're starting to break out. We've got about 19 minutes or so before this candle does close. So if we push out a little bit more, I'll take a trade. Something like this. Stop loss just above the high. At least looking for push into the low. Oh, there we go. So we'll see what type of candle closure we get in the next 19 minutes or so, but I definitely need to keep an eye on that because I could be looking to take a trade. Other dollar pairs are seeing some downside, nothing crazy though, but we are seeing a bit of downside there. So yeah, for gold, as I stated previously, this is a nice place for a bounce, but that's kind of all I'm looking at for gold at the moment. We've been pretty consistent, higher low 1, 2, 3, 4, so the market has been in this steady uptrend here, but altogether it is very, very corrective, and I do think it's just price kind of correcting itself after such an aggressive move the past couple of weeks, and there is a lot of room to the downside for us to spill over, potentially back to support here. So I don't really have a setup for gold at the moment. I'm just really monitoring gold, really. I don't really have a setup I'm planning to trade or look for entries just yet. When I do get one, I'll let you guys know. But truthfully, at the moment, I'm just kind of just keeping an eye on gold and seeing how things develop. Similar with silver as well. At least silver, I kind of know what I'm looking for a little bit. But in terms of the exact setup, I'm still waiting for price action to print. Gold, I generally don't know what I'm looking for just yet. Because if we do see some follow through and price does break structure, I actually will be looking for some sells. Depending on how we break it. If we can break high and take out this high here, then yeah, I'll be looking for buys. But which one we do, I have no idea. It's kind of 50-50 at the moment. So yeah, I'm waiting for a lot more information right now for gold. Okay, you were holding that for 4 to 5 months. Impressive stuff. Yeah, that's true as well, Ben. Cherry picking in the markets can be very, very damaging for you trading long term, because if you ignore the times it doesn't fit the narrative or fit the pattern or fit whatever, those are times where you're going to take some losses you weren't expecting and you feel like you're doing something wrong. You feel like you need to change something, but the loss is part of the game, part of the plan. Yeah, I would agree as well, Ben. Be in your own bubble, trade that. Yeah, 100%. That's. I think that's why FX is so attractive. I think number one, the entry level in terms of capital need is very low. I think you can see a lot of brokers who just require $50, $100 to start to open an account. So that's really attractive, of course. And number two, it's the most traded market in the world. I can't remember how many trillion. I think it's like 6 or 7 trillion maybe. Is traded through the FX market per day. So it's very, very liquid. A lot of money in the FX market. It's very stable. You're not going to see euro suddenly crash for some reason. Maybe it can happen, of course, but realistically, it's not going to happen. And even if it does crash a little bit, it won't be by a crazy amount that Bitcoin can do, of course, in one day. So FX market is very stable, traded a lot, therefore price action is a lot truer, a lot cleaner, a lot more repeatable in FX markets as well. Especially like Euro USD in the majors where you get the most action. And yeah, fundamentals you completely ignore and still make a good living. Some markets, I would suggest fundamentals do play a big role, and maybe it's smarter to actually look at the fundamentals as the technicals as well. I feel like stocks, generally speaking, I feel like crypto as well, just because someone could tweet something and we could see crypto take a dive or fly as well. Of course, that was to an extent a period of time in FX when Trump was tweeting stuff. We did see dollar kind of react to that quite a lot back in 2021, I would say, or 2020. Or was it 2019? Can't remember. One of those years, Trump was tweeting a lot and dollar was moving a little bit. Nothing crazy, but we were seeing some reactions, but not really seeing that as much anymore. But yeah, generally speaking, FX is the safest place to go. That's true as well. Doesn't move as much as you would see on Bitcoin to entice that greed or that fear. It will still entice greed. I think any market will do that as long as there's money involved, but not to the same degree, of course. So I'll have a look at US 30 as well. Yeah, 6.6, something like that, trillion dollars a day. Yeah, I mean that's literally the game the game plan with stocks in general, indices. You know, if you look back at the previous history of those markets, you know, every time the market does take a dip, it recovers. S&P has done that successfully since the beginning of the S&P. So anytime the market does take a dip, you're looking to buy that basically. Of course, nothing's 100%, but you know, that's near enough to 100% as you would get. The history of the market, every time we do take a dive, the market finds its feet. So markets like S&P, you're looking to buy those dips and you're expecting price to go higher. And when things are scary, when things are really crashing, that's the best time possible. Of course, in hindsight, everyone can say that, but the skill is to have the cash ready when things do take a dive. You want to be able to deploy that and take your entries and hold on to it as well, even if it's going against you. But I think that the real aim is bet money which you can afford to lose as well, because I feel like what I'm saying is almost common sense, at least for people who have been around markets for a little bit. Maybe to the absolute beginner or the person who doesn't really look at markets won't know that. But generally speaking, buy when everyone's fearful and sell when everyone's greedy is basic knowledge here. We're not Einstein here. This basic knowledge. However, a lot of people will buy the market with money they can't afford to lose. So when things are going bad, they will take the money out because they can't afford to lose that money. What it takes is someone to buy the market with money they can afford to lose, so they won't really care if things go south, and then they're rewarded when the market eventually turns and goes in the direction. Okay, US 30. So yeah, US 30, as I was talking about earlier, I'm very bullish on. I do think there's a good chance we get back to the high there around 40k. So I do think we're likely to see a lot more upside here for US 30 in the next few days. I like this brief period of consolidation here before a really nice breakout, and this to me looks like a really nice retracement. So if we can see a bit more downside, that would be nice. I would anticipate some buys here from around 39,200 as a nice place for an entry to take price back to the high and potentially higher as well. I think longer term, there's a good chance we get back to the high. So generally speaking, that's the direction I want to be trading in, and anticipating more upside. So yeah, with US 30, I'll keep an eye on that level. We're seeing some big wicks, some rejection here, so I think there's a possibility we get there. And depending how we react with the level, there could be some nice entries to take price higher. So yeah, US 30 looking at upside. Pretty bullish on the indices in general. Yeah, of course. That's the whole point, Poppy. It's not necessarily easy to buy when everything's crashing and you're seeing humongous bearish candles pushing down, and everyone's talking panic online. Everyone's so fearful, crashing and going to zero. So it's not easy to do that because instinctively you don't want to put your money in a vulnerable area. It doesn't really make too much sense instinctively. Everyone's saying we're crashing, and then you're putting big money in. Doesn't make any sense. But historically, depending on the chart you're looking at, historically, like for the S&P, for example, we've always found a higher low at some point, and we've always come back to the prior high. So with that knowledge, of course, nothing's 100%, but that is as close as you can get to 100% as you like. Then you just put money which you can afford to lose. So if, for example, S&P does go to zero and you lose all your money, you're not exactly on the street now because you just put all your life savings into S&P. If you can comfortably go without that money you're going to put into the market and still survive and still nothing's changed about your lifestyle, then that's the money you can afford to put into the market, and you be emotionally intelligent enough not to panic when things don't go your way. Of course, that's even easier said than done, but I think that's the best way to go around it. Because if you do put money in there which you can't afford to lose, then yeah, if things aren't going well, you probably will pull the plug at some point. Okay, pound USD isn't playing ball, still respecting the low end of that channel and just flip bullish pretty aggressively there. So yeah, I need price to break out of this channel because otherwise we could still remain in here for the rest of the day, and who knows, maybe even break to the upside as well, which is not what I'm interested in. So I do need to see price break lower for me to get that entry, and this candle's about to close in the next 7 minutes. Not too sure we're going to get that. How's the DXY looking? Yeah, it's close. It's seen some upside. I think pound might be a little bit strong right now today. Yeah, stronger than euro at least. This is euro pound, which is definitely taking a dive right now. Pound yen pulling back a little bit there. Pound CHF pulling back a little bit there. How's euro USD looking? So yeah, euro's still trying to give us a nice closure to the downside. But pound USD not likewise. So maybe the next candle after could give me something. It doesn't really matter what candle I get my entry on as long as it's inside my trading window. But at the moment, we're still kind of respecting the lows there. So hopefully we can get that breakout. Wow, that is looking bullish. Is there some news for pound or something? Because we're looking bearish literally like 5 minutes ago. And now it's completely turned around. Oh well, just means I have to stay patient, not try and force anything. We might want to stay in that channel for a little bit longer. Making my time fly before the stream. Count the seconds, now 2 hours, didn't even notice that. That is the aim of the game, mate. Suck you in, bring you into my stream, keep you here forever. I appreciate that more. God bless you too, my man. I mean, yeah, if you guys are enjoying the stream, please be sure to drop a like, by the way. If you guys are enjoying the stream, find it useful, informative, educational, entertaining maybe, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel, of course. It does really help out, and make sure you do hit the bell as well so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. Yes, I'm still bullish, Ben. I'm still bullish. I'm looking for more upside on the DXY. We have come back into a nice little level here where we are reacting and anticipating a move higher. I have to admit the price action isn't looking as clean as it has been previously, but as you can see, I have highlighted the higher highs and higher lows here. So as long as that stays intact, the narrative for me is still to the upside. If we go and crash to the downside and break this low, then yeah, fair enough, I fold my arms. Maybe at that point, the bias will change and we'll head down. But at the moment, we're still respecting these prior lows. And I'm looking at this as an area where we could form another higher low and potentially be on our way to the upside. So the idea is still looking for dollar strength, and of course looking to short pound USD, looking to short euro, Aussie dollar. When it finally wants to break out that range, I'll look to short it. New Zealand dollar, same thing there as well. Yeah, what is this? This is horrendous stuff. New Zealand dollar break to the downside. So yeah, my bias is still very much dollar strong. If things change, I'm quick to change my bias. I'm not stubborn. If price wants to break lower and we start taking out lows, then yeah, I'll comfortably change my bias and look for shorts. I'm not married to the upside by any means, at all. But structure's up, so I'm bullish too, at least for now anyway. And we're seeing some nice rejections here as well. Really nice double bottom in the hourly time frame. As we can see, came in once, respected again, nice shift of momentum. So things are looking like we can see some upside here for dollar. Whether we create new highs or not, that's a different question. But at least for a session or for a day or two, I do think upside is likely. And yeah, pound USD, I'm looking to short. Okay, look at that now. It's coming right back down. This one's moving all over the shop. That's why it's important to wait for candles to close as well, because it could be looking very bullish at one point. 2 minutes later, it's looking bearish, and you've taken a trade for no reason. So if you do use candlestick patterns to enter your trades, wait for closures. Very, very important. But yeah, we'll pull back down now. We're still comfortably in the channel right now, so there's no entry signal. We still need to break out, because for all I know, we could close like this and see another move back up in the next candle, which is not what I'm after. So yeah, it's important we do break out of this, and then I find my entry signal that way. Yeah, Euro's trying to drop as well. So I'll keep an eye on pounds. This is the only one that's really in my entry area and close to give me an entry signal. So if I do take a trade today, it is on pound USD short. Hopefully the next candle, which will close at 1 p.m, will give me something to work with. Yeah, I'm looking at the similar thing, Rico. Price has come back to a nice area. Take care, my man. Catch you tomorrow. Okay. When is oh, is it on Friday? Well, we'll see what happens when we come out on Friday, but we don't really have major news this week really. At least compared to 2 previous weeks, but I think we've got NFP next week. I think, yeah, that'll be the first Friday of the new month. But guys, really do appreciate each and every one of you for coming onto the stream today and chat with me, keeping me company. Thank you to my moderators as well. Really do appreciate you guys helping out. Really do appreciate it. As always, I will be live again tomorrow and every day this week, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. As usual. If you're free, come say hello. And even if you're not free, make yourself free and come say hello as well. But anyway, guys, have a fantastic day. If I do get into pound USD, you'll see my chart on Telegram. So check it out, link in the description. If I do get a trade, I'll post it there. But if you don't hear from me, then I haven't taken a position. But regardless, I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a fantastic day. Take care, and I'll catch you all in the next one.
Bye.